Our Favorite Tools for Entrepreneurs podcast will address tools that are useful for startups and existing businesses. We will also cover other aspects of the launch and growth of entrepreneurial ventures. Your two hosts will be Professor Gary Palin and serial entrepreneur Ryan Budden.
Hey, Professor Palin, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm moving forward. It's uphill a little bit more than usual. If you can tell by my voice, I'm fighting a pretty bad cold.
Yeah, it sounds gruffer than usual. Are you sure that's not something you're doing with your microphone?
Oh, you never know what's happening with these things.
Hey, so I think we've got an interesting topic here today. We're going to talk about a blue ocean. Are you familiar with what that is?
Oh, very much so. I see fledgling entrepreneurs claim they're in a blue ocean very often.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, it's essentially an undiscovered market. So an entire market that you are creating with a product or a service that doesn't previously exist. There's a demand for it that's sort of unrealized, and there's no competitors playing in the space. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that is, and very often the people that are actually in a blue market versus people who think they are, they will come in. Not only are they first to the market, but they come in with a low price strategy, which makes it very difficult for competitors to come in. So, for example, Henry Ford and Steve Jobs with Apple are examples of true blue oceans.
Yeah, the one that's always pointed to is the iPhone. You know, we didn't know we needed something that was a phone, a computer, an audio player, all built into one until he kind of brought it to market. And now I'm assuming most of us listening to this couldn't live without one.
Yeah, and Henry Ford always said if you listen to the customers, what they wanted was faster horses.
There we go. I haven't actually heard that. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's blue ocean. It's one of those concepts that I feel, because of you can point to these large successes, entrepreneurs want to create one. They want to be the next person in this blue ocean. And oftentimes, even if they think they have one, it's an incredibly difficult place to play.
Yeah, if they are truly in a blue ocean, they better do some serious fundraising, because you have to educate the market, and that takes an incredible amount of funds to do so.
Right. The educational component is key. Most of the time with my work at the Entrepreneurship Center, I find that people that think they're in a blue ocean are actually existing in a non-marketplace. So they haven't, when we really dive into it, dig into who they're marketing towards, it's because there's no customers. They're developing a widget for nobody.
Exactly. And the contrary, or the complement to a blue ocean, is called a red ocean. And that's right, competing in an existing market, which is where virtually all startups are.
Right. Or a super saturated market. That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's always a problem if it's super saturated.
Yeah. It is always a fun topic, though. I was actually this last week talking to somebody that had developed a software application for IoT, Internet of Things, and they believed they were in a blue ocean because it was going to replace Bluetooth technology. And coming to find out, this was a great concept, but it would require hardware to be implemented in everything that we use that would want to be Internet of Things, which is a burden that they were never going to overcome, quite literally, no matter how much funding they got.
Yeah, and the intellectual property and patent issues associated with that, and defending those, that's just a quagmire of problems.
Exactly right. So have you ever come across strategies that people think they are participating in a blue ocean, what they can actually do to educate the market? Let's assume somebody listening really does have an idea that's going to revolutionize the way we do something.
Well, there's this new concept of research, and it's called a Google search. That would be the first place I would go. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've run across someone who comes to meet with me, and they say, no one is doing this. It's a brand new market. And half the time I've heard 3 ideas very similar to that in the last 6 months. So
right.
They have to research this.
They have to research it. Yeah. The other thing that I find a lot is most great ideas have been thought of before. It's that no one has taken action to realize that idea or make the idea come to fruition.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's impossible to find a blue ocean, but they are very rare. It's not. I have a hard time even coming up with examples. I mean, we can do it, but there are many more that have succeeded in red ocean by far than blue ocean. Right.
I think it's sort of folklore, right? We live in the age of unicorns, and oftentimes they are creating new markets. So, the new entrepreneur kind of gets to dream big and live vicariously through some of these unicorn owners that themselves have become quite famous through their company's success.
Yeah, I would recommend startup entrepreneurs to focus more on red ocean and look for major incremental improvements in how they're delivering the speed of their product, the cost-effective factors of their products. I think what we've mentioned, the rule of 7 in the past. That's where I would suggest startup entrepreneurs focus is to try to have major incremental jumps in a red ocean.
Absolutely. Then there's market validation, there's research, people know what to expect, how to use your product exactly.
Yeah, and if you go into blue ocean too, I would recommend that you start identifying experts in that field of blue ocean, because you can't know everything possible about that blue ocean. So you're going to have to form a pretty divergent, talented team.
Yeah, that's another good point to take on it. It's typically not going to be you sitting by yourself creating this entire concept. Well, one thing I've learned in entrepreneurship is hardly ever you sitting by yourself creating something. People's input is key to success, whether it's the customer, the team you're working with, or an investor or advisor.
And again, you've heard me say this before. Even Batman had Robin, Lone Ranger had Tonto. Doing it by yourself as that lone wolf is almost impossible.
Well, I'm not sure if you have anything else to add to the blue ocean.
Well, all I would just say is if you think you have a blue ocean, I would start doing an awful lot of research and speak with people in the marketplace. Don't give away the secret sauce, and probe further before you start spending money launching a blue ocean product that doesn't exist.
Absolutely. I think that's good advice for anyone, even if they're not in a blue ocean, but particularly if they believe they're participating in that.
Well, that sounds like a game plan, Ryan. Well, I hope you have a great day.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to our Favorite Tools for Entrepreneurs podcast with Professor Gary Palin and Ryan Budden. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into topics that assist with the launch and growth of your entrepreneurial venture. As always, you can head over to ProfSpirit.com to check out more resources and courses designed for you, the entrepreneur. Also, please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube to get the most up-to-date information as it is released.